So recently I put up a post asking which of these 4 characters would come out on top to a fight to the death. And that got me thinking, out of all the Little Nightmares characters, which one would win in a free-for-all fight to the death and come out on top? And that's what I'm going to try to discuss today. And yeah, just going into the video, realize I am not like a power scaler of fictional characters. I am not like an expert on this. This is just my opinion and what I think. So, you know, it is my opinion, but feel free to give me what you guys think and who you think would win in the comments below. And also, yeah, I have to get rid of some monsters slash bosses to make it fair. So we have to get rid of 4 in total. So the 4 that I'm going to get rid of are obviously basically all of the final bosses from the trilogy. The Thin Man, the Lady, and Otto. I feel like they're just too OP or big, so it'd just be a huge disadvantage so to the other monsters or characters. So yeah, we're going to get rid of them. And also we're going to get rid of the giant baby because again, the size difference is crazy. And again, it's just a huge disadvantage. So with that being said, we have 9 monsters or bosses left, and we're gonna decide which ones would come out on top. First of all, before we get into the video, like and subscribe, and also hype the video. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys have shown so much support. Thank you guys, and yeah, let's get right into it. I do want to preface this by saying, before we start, would like to put, for an idea of the location, I guess I wouldn't put them in a location that is mostly fair to everybody and doesn't give anybody the advantage. So I'm thinking for an idea is like, maybe the Institute from Little Nightmares 3 just dropped them in there and basically that's it. And it's just kind of seems like to me that would be fair for everybody, or fair for most of them. Just imagine it like Fortnite, they drop in and then it's a free-for-all and they all try to, you know, kill each other. So yeah, that's basically what it's like. So just to give you an idea, and so we're on the same page. So yeah, let's get right into this. So I'm gonna start with who I think would get knocked out first and not last that long. Then I would go to who I think will make it pretty far but won't last that long either, and then I'll give you the final 4 I think, and then I'll finally give you who I think would win. So yeah, let's get right into this. So the people that, or the monsters that I want to say that are out first are definitely, I want to say the janitor. Let's be honest, he's at a huge disadvantage because he is blind. He has super hearing and maybe super smell as well, but again, he's blind, he can't see much, so I couldn't imagine him making it far against like a ranged weapon or anything like that. His arms might help out a little bit, but to reach stuff, but other than that, I don't see him making it far, and I see him getting taken out pretty quickly, if I were to be honest. And the next would obviously be the granny. Now the granny, the location is probably the most unfair to her because there is no water there. I mean, there is water outside of the Institute technically, but without water, basically she is useless. She can't really do anything, and I'm not even sure if she could survive outside of the water. Actually, I think she can, because you see her sitting in a chair in the DLC at some point, so I think she can survive being out of the water, but she's most useful in the water obviously because from the DLC you see that. I don't even know if she has like super strength or like anything like that. She's got super swimming abilities, but that won't help her out here. So yeah, she gets taken out pretty quickly with the janitor as well. The granny and the janitor, they're out of there. They don't last that long in the fight. So yeah, let's move on. Now the characters that I think would make it decently far but still would get taken out semi quickly are the twin chefs. I feel like while there is the advantage of there being 2 of them and they are pretty big in size, they're also really stupid compared to a lot of the other monsters in the Little Nightmare series. They are really, you know, just dumb and really avoidable compared to the others. Maybe if this was a cook-off, maybe they'd win that for sure, but other than that, yeah, like I said though, the advantage is there is 2 of them. They move decently quickly. I don't think they move too fast. Yeah, so their size, there being 2 of them, and they move decently quickly would help, but again, I don't see them lasting that long in a free-for-all against all the other monsters. So yeah, another one that would be out decently quickly but would make it decently far is the teacher. I think other than her neck and her being able to stretch her neck, she really doesn't really have anything, her arsenal really. I mean, maybe that'll give her an advantage of looking into rooms without actually going into them and hiding, maybe, and maybe looking up at places or looking around places or anything like that, but I don't think other than that anything that she has would help. She's very smart though, obviously, because she's a teacher, but in in a battle where you have no advantage or no prep time or anything like that, I don't feel like that would really help you too much unless you were able to just, you know, completely outsmart the monsters. But then again, we have very smart monsters or bosses still on this list. So again, I don't see her making it far. She just had her ability to stretch her neck very, 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 very far. Maybe she'll bite somebody in the ass. I don't think she's gonna kill anybody with that unless they're very, very small. Maybe if she grabs the minikin, maybe she can kill him with bite from stretching her neck. But yeah, I don't see her making it too far. The next one is the supervisor. Now, I will say the supervisor has a very impressive feat where she kind of lifts the steam press or the hydraulic press, whatever you want to call it, from the third game, and she kind of like lifts that up. So she has pretty good strength, pretty decently strength. Her second form gives her the ability to crawl on walls as well, and she's a little bit faster with that second form. In her first form, she's getting taken out easily, but her second form, I feel like she has a little bit more of a chance. But once you guys see the final four, you guys will literally not, you guys will understand why. But yeah, I wouldn't put her too high. I wouldn't give her any crazy advantages. She does, like, it seems like, run into walls in the second form too or anything, but yeah, other than that, those advantages, I don't see her making it far either. So yeah, let's go right on to the next one. So the final four. Now these are the four that I think would make it out and have a very good chance of making it out. I think there's one clear winner though, but we'll get right into that. So the final four, the Kin is up there. Now I will say the Kin has an advantage with the mini Kin being at his side. The mini Kin, I think could help him out a lot with just checking out other rooms, fitting into tight corridors, telling him whatever, basically being his little foreman or something like that. But also he is able to grab things. He's able to grab small objects, so I don't know how much that would help out, but yeah, the minikin is very helpful here. And the Kin, I'm pretty sure, is shown to be pretty decently strong in the third game when he breaks down that gate when he's chasing you. And another thing that puts him at the top, a huge advantage, is he pulls out a shotgun at the end of the chase. Now I don't think he's that good with it, and obviously I think the game is hinting that he doesn't use the shotgun that much, but he has a ranged weapon, and a ranged weapon gives you a huge one-up on a lot of these monsters. So that's why he's up here, and that's why I think he would make it to the final four. Now the Hunter is next. Again, he has a ranged weapon. He would be able to shoot a lot of these monsters and kill them, so that gives him a huge advantage. But also his knowledge, strategic knowledge of setting traps and basically setting traps for things would help him out a ton in this free-for-all. He would catch a lot of things in the trap, trick things. He also has, you know, decent strength, I think, from breaking down the door. He has pretty good aim as well when shooting at 6 in mono. He really doesn't miss, and if he does, it's because things are in his way, but he shoots the things that are in his way pretty well. So he aims pretty well, and he has decent reaction time whenever he does see you in the game, and he shoots pretty fast, so his reaction time is pretty up there. So yeah, that's why I think he would make it pretty far as well. Now the guests. Now if you clicked on this video and asked why I didn't put the viewers video like this too, is because the viewers, there wasn't like the main viewers that I saw that the wiki told me about. There wasn't like main ones, and there's a ton of viewers. There's like all of them, but the guests, technically there's 4 main guests, so there's 4 guests kind of. So I'm going to use those 4 main guests according to the wiki, and they are called Harry, Magon, Piggy, Padan. Yeah, so their advantage relies in strength and numbers. Basically they're decently strong, throwing over tables and stuff while they chase you as a 6. They're pretty fast as well. They can kind of keep up to 6 even though they're literally brawling on their stomachs. They're decently fast and pretty strong as well, but I think the thing that really gives them an advantage is how determined they are to eat, their appetite. That would literally put them over there. Their bloodlust to freaking eat, that would give them an advantage here. If they have no food, guess what, the other monsters are food, so that would give them a crazy advantage. And also there's 4 of them, so if you can only take out one, then here comes the other 3. They're able to move quick, you know, they just have everything pretty much. They have the bloodlust more than I think any of the other monsters as well, so that really gives them the edge there. So yeah, that's why they make it to the final 4. Now the last one on the final 4 is I think the Doctor. He is basically the supervisor, but just improved. He can crawl on walls. He's bigger in size. He seems to be way quicker than I think the supervisor, and I think he is way stronger for sure than the supervisor. On the roofs and everything, he's way quicker in my opinion. And the way he's picking up the beds and everything, I just think he is basically the supervisor, but improved by tenfold. Not tenfold, but like 3 times. And yeah, he's also way smarter as well, as he's a doctor. So yeah, I feel like that would just give him the one-up, the advantage in this fight. And now we're gonna go on to who I think would actually win out of every single monster. Who I think would win. I honestly think if I had to base it down to one character, if they had everything in their arsenal from the game and they had everything that they could use from the Little Nightmares game, I do think that I would give it to the Hunter. Just because one, like I said, he has the ranged weapon, but he also has the traps as well. So even if he was dealing with like the guests or something, he would lay traps for them, maybe catch a couple of them in the trap, shoot a couple of them to deal with them at a time, and then the other one to be stuck in the trap and he would kill them all. Or if he was dealing with the kin and minikin, the minikin is who I could see him giving him a problem because he can't really aim at smaller targets to hide behind stuff, obviously from 6 and mono whenever they run from him in the second game. But again, he could catch them in a trap, I feel like, if he hides the trap pretty well, and he would catch a minikin and then shoot kin. And he's better with a gun than kin is. It's shown in the second game. He's better with a gun than the kin. At the end of the third level in the Little Nightmares 3, kin like takes a while to like load it up and like actually shoot you, and it's just you could just tell he's not as good. So yeah, I think the Hunter would just come out and deal with the doctor. You would just shoot his ass real quick. He's quick, but I think if the Hunter could get the shot off, I feel like he would win. So that's who I think would win in a fight. Again, I didn't include the Thin Man, the Lady, Monster 6, Otto, or the Giant Baby because they're obviously just too OP, or their size is too much for these other monsters, and it just wouldn't really be a fair fight in my opinion. But yeah, tell me who you think would win if they were to get into like a free-for-all fight or anything like that, and who you think would come out on top, who you think would be the first to die, who you think, you know, wouldn't make it that far. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's just the idea I kind of threw out there I wanted to do, and I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys. Peace.